Hello everyone, this is Peter from VFE Pedals. I'm coming here with a video update. First I wanted to actually just respond to the many emails that I've gotten over the years, checking in on my son Nate, who was born with a cleft lip and palate, and he is doing amazing. He's running around, he's talking, he's progressing really well, and we're so happy about it. So I just wanted to thank you for all of your support and your check-ins and your well wishes. We're actually expecting a third child in May, so we're excited, super excited. It's a great time for our family right now. I wanted to let you know where I am in the current production process. So one big aspect is to put parts in those circuit boards, and I made a list of everything I needed to do that for about around November 10th earlier this month, and I started stuffing, in the mornings before school, during my lunch break, just trying to be really efficient and try to get little by little done. And so I'm down to my last two, and they're about halfway done, so this will be done tomorrow. And then I need to start soldering them. And then the last step of the process is final assembly, but there's this sort of in-between process with the graphics, which I'll talk about later in this video. I do want to mention that in my entire life, I have never had a to-do list as long as I have right now, meaning so far behind on so many things. This season of teaching remotely and all the changes and the things that I have to be prepared for, along with changes with my family and some projects that we started in the summer around the house, and all that, it sort of like disrupted all the plans that I had and trying to make things still work. And so I'm like, my response time to emails is oftentimes a week, two. And it's just, there's not physical time and energy for me to do all that unless I just stop being a dad and stop being a husband and just only work. And I want to protect that time with my family. So I apologize if I'm not holding up my end of the bargain and you feel like, just ask for a refund and I'll do my best to issue it, but I might not see the email for a week. So, just know I am working really hard and I'm spending all the time that I can to do my best. And I feel, part of me feels a little bit bad because I'm not holding up with what I've said I can do. And that part, that's something that's really important to me, but I also want to give myself permission that I can't foresee the future and all the things that'll happen, and I only have so much energy and time. So I just wanted to say that before I continue on this video, that this has just been an overwhelming time, and I'm learning how to still work hard and put my head down and do the job without taking so much time away from my family that they don't see me and they don't have a dad and a husband. So this week is a week off for me from teaching. We have a whole full week off for Thanksgiving at my school, which is awesome. So my goals this week are to finish soldering all of these boards, to catch up on emails. I have over 100 emails to catch up on, to ship out all the DIY perks, which I'll try to show you a clip at the end of this video of where I'm at there, and to tie up any sort of loose ends. So I've got some pedals I need to mod, and some pedals over there that I need to repair, and just some of those things that require more dedicated focus. While I'm not teaching, I have a week off, I want to get those things done so that when I am teaching, I can do those things that don't require as much dedicated focus, because it's just kind of more rhythmic and not as unique tasks. So anyway, that's my goal this week. Kind of my bonus goal, which I wish I could get to, I just don't think there's enough time, would be to get the printer over there up and running again. But as I've shared in my previous email, I just don't see that happening until Christmas break. So my goals for the end of December, so the end of 2020, is to try and build out and complete all pedals that aren't the Mobius strip, Blueprint, Fiery Red Horse, and Bumblebee. Those are the ones that I still have some circuit board work to do. The triplet and springboard prototypes I've got over there. I've got some things I still have to do to get them ready, but they look very promising that I'm not going to need to like develop a new circuit board. So there's just some part tweaks and stuff like that. And so my goal is to finish any order that I've gotten for anything but those 4 pedals like done and completed by the end of December. So the big question is, of course, like, when will your order ship? And I wish I could be more clear on it. I need to make sure that I get things done in an efficient and accurate manner. And so that might mean, all right, today I'm going to work on alpha dogs. And if you ordered an alpha dog, in the summer, or you ordered an alpha dog, in October, like you'd get that alpha dog and it would ship before someone who maybe, some other pedal and they ordered it earlier. But that process of doing it by pedal is way more efficient than doing it by order. And so my goal is to get them all done by the end of December, but like what order will depend on like what batch I'm working on. So it's tough for me to like project exactly which orders will. I just need to let myself know that I don't have the time to quite organize things that way. And hopefully you can understand that. In order for me to sort of wind things down and simplify my process, next Monday, the end of November, November 30th, will be the last day that I will accept orders through the website. And then it'll help me sort of focus what I need to get done in December. And I won't be sort of taking a bunch of new orders in at that point. What that means past that point is impossible for me to say for sure. I am committed to doing what I can to make VFE pedals like available, but whether that just means to DIYers or licensed or someone buys it, I do want to make the designs available and continue to tinker myself and do stuff. But as far as like having like a time where I just, you can order everything, and I just don't see that happening for me ever again. And I've probably said that before, but this is one where it definitely feels final. And so, yeah, so it's tough for me to say exactly what the next steps will take. But my goal is to keep those designs available while not having to manufacture them myself. And lastly, I just want to say thank you for those of you who've just been incredibly patient. I mean, there's been times where I said, yeah, this will be done in August, and I mean, it's still not done. I hate that feeling. And you've been so patient and understanding that it's helped me continue sort of moving forward and just doing my best. And I could enumerate all the things that have gotten in the way, but I think at the end of the day, if I just say it's 2020, most of us just understand what this year's been like. And so thank you so much for your patience in this process, and then just thank you so much for your support over a decade of doing this. It's helped support my family, and it's helped give me I've learned so much through this process, and now I'm able to teach students like applied math, not just theoretical math, but math that actually, figures out things with both circuits and business and structural things and geometry. And so this has been a great experience, even if I didn't make a ton of money doing it. I'm really grateful for this time and grateful for your support to allow me to have done this. So yeah, thank you. Here is the circuit boards and the enclosures for the DIY kits. And obviously there's more things I'm going to need to add to that, but that's just me sort of sorting it out. Here's the stack of just circuit boards for those who just had circuit boards. And again, these are coming with more than just that, but it was just me sorting it out. My goal is to ship all this week. A couple weeks ago, I just pulled out all the enclosures that weren't related to the Fiery Red Horse Mobius strip, Blueprint, Bumblebee pedals. Just pulled them all out and stuck them out here. And then all the boards that I had done and soldered, I stuck on them, and then I sort of pulled out ones that I needed to go, solder and fill with parts, and that's what this stack is all the circuit boards that were over here. Now they're here. I'm gonna solder them up, and then the next step is to get graphics on all these, and whether that's done through the printer or by my hand will just depend on what I'm able to do this week with the printer. Okay, here's the sort of infamous UV printer that I keep talking about. I actually purchased this because the cost of having someone else print it was pretty equivalent to purchasing this machine, and I wanted to have that investment not just to use for the pedals, but then to have here for students at our school, which is the School of Industrial Design, Engineering, and Art, to be able to actually print out the things that they design onto things other than paper, substrates other than paper. A design and engineering and art school felt like a really appropriate thing. So anyway, I got this in January, and January is a super month. It's a busy month for us in our program, and so I got it started up, just sort of set up, but then didn't use it. And then when I went to actually need to go use it, COVID had happened. Everything is shutting down. And so now, when I turn it on, I get an error light that basically doesn't even allow it to do a test print or a head cleaning or anything from the computer. And I'm in communication with the manufacturer, but that communication is slow. As you might imagine, if I'm only getting the emails every 1 or 2 weeks, how slow my communication has been on this. And so they've been responsive, but this is a company that's based in China, and so their explanations are basically pointing at things, and they're doing their best, but it can be difficult. So if anyone owns one of these machines, I'll show you the red error light that I'm getting, and I can basically tell you that there's a sequence of pressing certain buttons, and then one of them is this, holding this for 10 seconds, and it's just not working for me. So if anyone has one of these machines and knows what this is, I would love to talk to you to clear that error. So anyway, I'm going to keep working on it. As I said, they've been responsive, so I'll see what I can get done.